25 stars that became homeless or went completely broke. Prepare to be shocked. One moment they were walking red carpets, the next they were sleeping on the streets. Another built a multi-million-dollar empire, only to lose it all and declare bankruptcy. These are the unbelievable true stories of 25 stars who went from fame and fortune to ruin, and their downfalls will leave you stunned. Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid, a seasoned actor celebrated for his appearances in over 90 films, and perhaps most beloved for his portrayal of the bumbling Cousin Eddie in the National Lampoon's Vacation series, experienced a drastic and bizarre descent into legal turmoil and financial ruin. Beginning in the late 2000s, a series of increasingly strange events began to unravel his life and career. Interestingly enough, before his acting career skyrocketed, Randy actually received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor in the 1973 film The Last Detail. This early recognition makes his later downfall that much more dramatic. In 2009, Quaid and his wife, Evie, were initially arrested for failing to pay a $10,000 hotel bill, a seemingly minor infraction that served as a prelude to far more severe legal battles. They faced accusations that escalated to include fraud and burglary, ultimately leading them to flee to Canada in 2010. There, they sought political asylum, claiming they were victims of a shadowy cabal known as the Star Whackers, a supposed group targeting Hollywood celebrities. "Hollywood is murdering its movie stars," Evie declared in an interview, encapsulating their paranoia and sense of impending doom. Their asylum claim, however, was denied, and after a string of further arrests, they were deported back to the United States. The couple eventually settled in Vermont, but their legal battles continued unabated. Despite his attempts to deflect accountability, the strain of the constant legal pressure was evident, with Quaid once expressing a simple, heartfelt plea: "I just want to be left alone." Marvin Gay. Marvin Gay, the soulful voice behind timeless classics, experienced a tragic fall from grace despite his monumental early success. Initially a Motown superstar, Gay's life spiraled into chaos, fueled by personal demons and overwhelming financial woes. By the late 1970s, he was drowning in debt, a staggering $9.2 million, with almost half owed in back taxes to the IRS. This monetary burden was exacerbated by fractured relationships and a crippling cocaine addiction. Interestingly, Gay actually drew inspiration for his later music from his personal hardships and inner turmoil. Attempting to escape it all, Gay fled to Europe, seeking refuge in a self-imposed exile, while battling depression and his substance use disorder. Despite the darkness, he triumphantly returned in 1984 with Sexual Healing, a testament to his enduring talent. But tragedy struck swiftly. Just months later, at the age of 44, Marvin Gaye's life was cut short when he was fatally shot by his own father during a heated family argument. Cory Feldman. Cory Feldman shot to fame in the 1980s, capturing hearts with roles in beloved movies like Lucas, License to Drive, and The Lost Boys. He became an instant teen idol, receiving thousands of fan letters weekly, and basking in the glow of Hollywood's attention. But beneath the surface lurked a darker reality. While his professional life was soaring, his personal life began spiraling downwards. "I lived in LA in the 80s, which was not the best place to be," Feldman once reflected, revealing his early struggles with substance abuse, starting with alcohol and escalating to cocaine and crack cocaine. It was an open secret in Hollywood at that time. Feldman frequently attended parties with other teen stars, some who later admitted they were already heavily involved with drugs and alcohol at the tender age of 12 years old. By the late 1990s, Feldman's addiction had taken a heavy toll. His once promising career dwindled, leading to severe financial problems, forcing him to live in a garage apartment with his mother. Even after many attempts at rehabilitation, at least 15 trips to rehab, he couldn't break free from his demons. A heartbreaking scene in a documentary showed him disoriented and having to sell personal items to make ends meet. He would sometimes use different aliases when he checked into motels, once even using Cory Feldman's name. In 2010, Haim tragically succumbed to pneumonia, unable to even afford his own funeral. His death served as a harsh reminder of fame's fleeting nature and the destructive power of drug addiction. Cory Feldman mourned the loss of his close friend, saying, "This is a tragic loss of a wonderful, beautiful, tormented soul." A sentiment that perfectly captured Haim's turbulent life in Hollywood. Amanda Peterson. Amanda Peterson, the effervescent teen idol who captured hearts in the beloved 1987 romantic comedy Can't Buy Me Love, met a tragic end after leaving the Hollywood scene in 1994. Returning to her roots in Greeley, Colorado, her life took a devastating downturn, marked by personal turmoil and legal woes. In a twist of fate, just a few years before her breakout role, Amanda had a small part in the iconic TV show Silver Spoons, alongside another young actor, Ricky Schroeder, who also experienced the complexities of childhood stardom and later carved a different path for himself away from the spotlight. Peterson battled substance abuse, leading to multiple arrests for driving under the influence and drug possession. The stark contrast between the bright-eyed starlet of the past and the troubled woman she became was heartbreaking. Her mother, Sylvia, recalled the shock of her death. She was in bed, and she'd had a wonderful day. It was just a very, very big surprise when Amanda was found dead in her apartment in 2015 from a morphine overdose at the age of 43. Her once radiant smile, which had charmed audiences, faded under the weight of addiction and poor choices, making her almost unrecognizable in the mugshots that documented her encounters with the law. Those close to her witnessed the deep scars left by the pressures of early fame. Her Can't Buy Me Love co-star, Patrick Dempsey, expressed his grief on social media, remembering her as forever vibrant and young in his mind. Willie Ames. Willie Ames, the heartthrob of the late 1970s thanks to his role on the hit sitcom 8 is Enough, experienced a precipitous fall from grace. After the show ended in 1981, Ames found himself spiraling into the depths of substance abuse and legal nightmares, culminating in utter financial ruin. The shocking contrast of his life was captured in his own words. "I went from eating at the White House to sleeping in the bushes." A stark portrayal of his descent from the pinnacle of fame to the harsh realities of homelessness. Believe it or not, before the glitz and glamour, young Willie was actually a contestant on the game show What's My Line in 1967 at just 6 years old, showcasing an early charm and stage presence that would later propel him to teen stardom. During his darkest hours, Ames sought refuge in parking garages and public parks, grappling with the crushing weight of his past decisions. Public reaction was a mixed bag of sympathy and harsh judgment. However, amid the wreckage of his life, Ames discovered a lifeline in faith, a turning point that would redefine his existence. Anchored by his newfound spiritual conviction, he found support, secured employment on a cruise ship, and painstakingly rebuilt his shattered life. This journey of redemption eventually led him back to acting, including roles in Hallmark Channel movies. Ames now stands as a beacon of hope, a living example of personal transformation and the possibility of a second act. He often emphasizes the importance of growth and the capacity for change, offering inspiration and encouragement to those facing similar life storms. Like this video? Great. Subscribe for more. Hate it? Well, a like would be nice anyway, and let me know what went wrong in the comments. Jan Michael. Jan Michael Vincent, who soared to fame in the 1980s as the charismatic helicopter pilot Stringfellow Hawk in Airwolf, earning an impressive $200,000 per episode, concealed a life of profound personal turmoil beneath his Hollywood persona. Interestingly, before his acting career fully took off, Vincent was a talented surfer, and even appeared in several surf films in the 1960s, showcasing a different side of his adventurous spirit. "I had a problem with drugs and alcohol," Vincent candidly confessed, acknowledging the demons that haunted him. As his career peaked, his substance abuse intensified, leading to a series of arrests and legal battles. Vincent's health suffered a devastating blow following multiple severe car accidents, one of which tragically resulted in the amputation of his leg, due to complications from an infection. These incidents not only ravaged his physical health, but also decimated his professional standing. Once a prominent leading man, he was relegated to low-budget films and faded into obscurity. In his later years, Vincent faced mounting financial woes, including unpaid taxes that loomed over him. His tragic downfall culminated in his death from cardiac arrest in 2019 at the age of 73, leaving behind a legacy tarnished by addiction and poor choices. Danny Bonad. Danny Bonad, a household name from his days as a child actor on The Partridge Family, plummeted into a harrowing period of homelessness and financial ruin after the show ended. The crushing weight of early fame took a heavy toll. By the 1990s, his life spiraled out of control with a series of arrests for drug possession, assault, and even an alleged robbery where he supposedly beat up a transvestite prostitute and stole her money. These legal battles cost him not only his freedom but also a thriving radio career, plunging him into destitution. But before his radio career started, Bonad also tried his hand as a stand-up comedian, often opening for his friend and Partridge Family co-star David Cassidy. This path didn't prevent his downfall, though. He once recounted the grim reality of his early 1980s existence, sharing, "I was so broke that I lived out of my car near a dumpster. I would pose for pictures with fans during the day and sleep in my car at night." Imagine the stark contrast. A recognizable face, smiling for photos near iconic Hollywood spots by day, then retreating to the shadows, sleeping in his car by night, his desperate situation masked by the lingering glow of celebrity. This grim existence, living behind dumpsters in his vehicle, continued until Bonad finally sought help and embarked on the arduous journey of rebuilding his life. His story transformed from one of substance abuse and homelessness to one of powerful resilience. He conquered his demons and now co-hosts a successful morning radio show in Seattle. Lonnie O Grady. Lonnie O Grady, best known as Mary Bradford on the hit show 8 is Enough, endured a tragic journey that ended in homelessness and despair. Despite early success, the pressures of fame profoundly affected her mental health. From a young age, she suffered from panic attacks, seeking refuge in prescription medications, a path that led to a lifelong and destructive addiction. It's a little-known fact that Lonnie's older sister, Gail O'Grady, also became a successful television actress, most known for her role on NYPD Blue, further highlighting the divergent paths within the family. After stepping away from acting in the 1980s, O'Grady tried to carve out a new career as a talent manager, but her personal demons persisted. In a desperate attempt to get clean, she checked into a mental health facility for detox in 1998. Shockingly, during her stay, she reported being sexually assaulted by a staff member, a traumatic event that led her to sue the hospital. This legal battle only compounded her stress and financial burdens. As O'Grady's struggles deepened, she became isolated, living in a mobile home, estranged from society. Her friends and family watched helplessly as addiction consumed her. At 46, Lonnie was found dead from a suspected drug overdose, a stark reminder of the hidden battles faced by child stars. "I feel like I have to keep up this idea of who I am," she once said, capturing the immense pressure that ultimately proved too much to bear. John Drew Barrymore. Born into Hollywood royalty, John Drew Barrymore found the weight of his family's legacy a heavy burden. Despite early success in films like The Sundowners and showcasing his talent alongside legends in films like High Lonesome, his career trajectory was tragically altered by inner demons. John wrestled relentlessly with alcohol addiction, leading to countless brushes with the law and a string of erratic life choices, derailing his promising acting career. Interestingly, though less known, John also had a brief but memorable stint directing low-budget horror films in the 1970s, showing a creative spark beyond acting that was also overshadowed by personal troubles. As his public image crumbled, he retreated from the spotlight, living a life of seclusion and quiet desperation. "I know certain actors are totally screwed up on drugs. Why wasn't I excused for exhaustion or the flu?" he once lamented. revealing the immense pressure cooker of celebrity lineage where individuality often suffocates under the weight of expectation. In his final years, battling cancer and failing health, he found solace and reconciliation with his daughter, Drew Barrymore, who supported him through his health struggles. His death in 2004 stands as a somber testament to the critical need for familial bonds and the devastating consequences that unchecked personal battles can inflict. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, a celebrated Hollywood actor renowned for his compelling roles in films like Mo Better Blues, Jungle Fever, White Men Can't Jump, and the iconic Blade trilogy, faced a stunning fall from prominence. Despite achieving significant success and wealth, Snipes stumbled into severe financial difficulties, remarkably at a time when he was earning millions per film. He even earned $13 million for Blade Trinity. His troubles stemmed from failing to file tax returns from 1999 to 2001, culminating in a staggering debt of millions of dollars to the IRS. His legal battles reached a climax in 2008 when he was convicted on 3 misdemeanor counts of tax evasion, resulting in a 3-year prison sentence. Reflecting on his dramatic shift in fortune, Snipes admitted, "I did not think it was possible," acknowledging the emotional toll of his predicament. The public watched as a beloved action icon became a cautionary tale of financial mismanagement and the grave consequences of neglecting tax obligations. Even after his release, when he attempted to rectify his financial situation and rebuild his career, Snipes encountered significant hurdles. While friends like Sylvester Stallone and Denzel Washington extended support and offered him roles, underscoring the lasting impact of friendships built before the scandal, the taint of his past legal issues lingered, making a full return to his former glory challenging. Wesley Snipes was sentenced to 3 years in prison for tax evasion. Do you think the sentence was fair? Comment with yes or no. Lisa Robin Kelly. Lisa Robin Kelly, best known as the witty Lori Foreman on the popular sitcom That 70s Show, endured a heartbreaking descent into substance abuse and legal troubles. Despite her early promise as an actress and her early career as a model, things changed. After the initial seasons of the show, her life took a devastating turn. As her struggles with drugs intensified, she was eventually written out of the series. Did you know that before landing her iconic role, Lisa Robin Kelly had actually guest starred on a variety of popular TV shows in the 90s, including Married with Children, Murphy Brown, and The X-Files? Sadly, in 2012, Kelly's downward spiral continued, marked by several arrests for DUI, assault, and domestic violence. These incidents were a public manifestation of her worsening state. Further compounding her distress was the loss of a child, which deepened her reliance on alcohol. She candidly spoke of her turmoil, saying, "I was in a dark place." In 2013, there was a glimmer of hope when Kelly voluntarily entered a rehab facility, with her agent stating, Lisa had voluntarily checked herself into a treatment facility. She was hopeful and confident. However, this glimmer was short-lived as she tragically died a few days later at 43 years old from multiple drug intoxication. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman, forever etched in television history as the quick-witted Arnold Jackson of Different Strokes, experienced a heart-wrenching fall from fame to hardship and did once have a very brief and non-successful stint as a trained security guard during his hardships. Born on February 8, 1968, he charmed the world with his undeniable charisma and signature catchphrase, "What you talking about, Willis?" But behind the scenes, Coleman battled serious health issues and financial exploitation. From the tender age of 2, he grappled with a congenital kidney disease, necessitating multiple kidney transplants and lifelong dialysis. At the peak of his Different Strokes career, he earned a remarkable $100,000 per episode. However, much of his substantial earnings were allegedly siphoned off by his parents and financial advisors. In a bid to regain control, Coleman took legal action against them in 1989, accusing them of embezzling his $3.8 million trust fund. He eventually won a settlement of $1.28 million in 1993. Sadly, mounting medical costs and legal bills ate away at his finances. By 1999, Coleman was forced into bankruptcy as acting opportunities dwindled and financial stability became increasingly elusive. His later years were marked by substance abuse, bouts of depression, and recurring legal troubles. In a poignant reflection of his experiences, he once lamented, "I would not give my first 15 years to my worst enemy." Gary Coleman's life tragically ended in 2010 at the young age of 42, leaving behind a minimal estate but leaving a mark on the industry forever. Aaron Carter. Aaron Carter catapulted to teen idol status at just 9 years old with his debut album achieving platinum sales, faced a tumultuous life far removed from his initial fame. While he was riding high on popularity, even opening for Britney Spears tours, he was privately battling internal issues as a child star in an era of immense scrutiny and relentless paparazzi pressure. By his mid-20s, Carter's life was in a sharp descent, marked by severe substance abuse, contentious family relationships, and crushing financial problems. His battle with addiction was publicly documented, and he confessed to huffing and misusing various prescription drugs. "I was huffing because I'm a drug addict," he admitted in a raw and emotional appearance on The Doctors. The weight of early stardom also led to severe financial mismanagement. He filed for bankruptcy in 2013, swamped by over $3.5 million in debt, largely due to unpaid taxes from his most lucrative years. As his career waned, Carter controversially resorted to selling explicit content online to stay afloat financially. Despite undergoing rehabilitation and speaking openly about his struggles with anxiety and depression, his efforts to recover were often overshadowed by erratic behavior and intense public judgment. Tragically, at the age of 34, Aaron Carter's life ended in November 2022 when he accidentally drowned in his bathtub. Dana Plato. Dana Plato, forever etched in our memories as Kimberly Drummond from the beloved sitcom Different Strokes, experienced a meteoric rise to fame, only to descend into a heartbreaking spiral of substance abuse and despair. The crushing weight of childhood stardom took a severe toll on her mental well-being, driving her towards drug addiction as early as her teenage years. In fact, in a desperate attempt to shed her wholesome image and prove she was all grown up, Dana posed for Playboy in 1989, a move that further alienated her from potential mainstream roles and deepened her financial woes. "I was just a kid who wanted to be loved," she later revealed, highlighting the emotional void that even fame couldn't fill. After becoming pregnant at 19, she was written out of the show, marking the beginning of her financial and personal decline. Struggling to find substantial acting work, she resorted to B-movies and adult films in a bid to resurrect her career. But these efforts proved futile. Her financial situation was further exacerbated when her accountant embezzled her savings, leaving her destitute. In a desperate act in 1991, Dana robbed a Las Vegas video store, wielding a pellet gun and making off with a mere $164. This act led to probation and further legal troubles, including an arrest for forging a prescription. Despite attempts at rehabilitation, her battle with addiction persisted. Tragically, Dana was found dead from a drug overdose at the age of 34. Her life serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of childhood stardom and the urgent need for mental health support within the entertainment industry. Erin Moran. Erin Moran captured hearts as the effervescent Joni Cunningham on Happy Days, becoming a household name with her infectious energy and acting prowess. Yet, the transition from beloved child star to adult actress proved brutally difficult. After Happy Days ended its successful run in 1984, steady work became elusive. A brief glimmer of hope appeared with the spin-off Joni Loves Chachi, pairing her with Scott Baio. However, the show was canceled, ending prematurely after just one season. This failure left Erin feeling marginalized and forgotten in the very industry that once embraced her. Interestingly, many people don't know that she once guest starred on The Love Boat in 1982 in the episode The Expedition Past Julie's Wedding, The Divers. Her former Happy Days co-star Marion Ross later revealed Erin's struggles with alcohol and substance abuse. Erin's personal life mirrored the turmoil in her career. She tragically lost her California home to foreclosure in 2010 and was forced to move in with her mother-in-law, residing in an Indiana trailer park, a world away from the glitz and glamour of her Hollywood past. Sadly, news outlets reported photos of the once vibrant actress looking disheveled and struggling. The public was shocked by her apparent decline and battle with depression. Her former co-star Scott Baio, with whom she shared the screen in Joni Loves Chachi, expressed a controversial stance when asked about her plight, stating, "You make your bed, you gotta sleep in it. I don't know how to help people." This statement sparked controversy at the time and highlighted the divide that fame often creates. Erin's heartbreaking journey underscores the difficulties child stars face and the critical need for support systems to navigate the pitfalls of fame. Though her death at 56 was from stage 4 cancer, her story serves as a stark reminder of the entertainment industry's demanding nature and the importance of compassion for those struggling within it. Todd Bridges. Todd Bridges, forever etched in our memories as Willis Jackson from the beloved sitcom Different Strokes, spiraled into a dark abyss after the series ended in 1986. The once cherished child star found it nearly impossible to secure mature roles and instead battled demons stemming from a turbulent childhood, marred by abuse and the disorienting pressures of early fame. He candidly shared the impact, stating, "When the show got canceled is when my whole life fell apart because everything caught up with me." Ironically, Gary Coleman, his co-star who Bridges looked up as a brother, later sued Bridges and his parents in 1993. Coleman alleged that Bridges' father had mismanaged Coleman's trust fund and took more than $1 million. That hurted Bridges most. He ended with drug use and got into cocaine and methamphetamine for solace. His addiction rapidly deteriorated, leading him to desperate measures to feed his habit. Recalling his lowest point, he said, "I had no shoes on, no shirt on, no money in my pocket." Legal troubles followed, culminating in a shocking attempted murder charge after a drug-fueled altercation with a dealer where he discharged a firearm. Although acquitted after serving 9 months in jail, the experience left lasting scars. Bridges didn't work in the Hollywood for a long time. He worked as security guard for 5 years. Embarking on a path to recovery, Todd entered rehab in 1992. Sober for over 3 decades, he rebuilt his life from the ashes. "I threw Hollywood away," he admits, but now he shares his powerful story of redemption and resilience as a beacon of hope for others struggling with addiction. Natasha Lyonne. Natasha Lyonne, initially celebrated for her captivating performances in films such as American Pie and Slums of Beverly Hills, found herself spiraling into the depths of homelessness. The early 2000s marked a dark period as substance abuse and legal troubles took hold. It wasn't just a DUI in 2001, but also an incident where she threatened to sexually molest a neighbor's dog, leading to her eviction from her upscale Gramercy Park apartment. This was the start of her dramatic downturn. Entrenched in a fierce battle with heroin addiction, Lyonne's life was reduced to the streets. The emotional toll was immense. She confessed, "I was definitely as good as dead." Her health crumbled, landing her in the hospital with hepatitis C and a collapsed lung, a grim testament to the life she was leading. Yet, from this abyss, Lyonne clawed her way back. Entering rehab in 2006 became her turning point. It was the start of her determined journey to reclaim her life and career. "People really rallied around me and pulled me up by my fucking bootstraps," she recalled, acknowledging the crucial support system that fueled her recovery. Lyonne didn't just revive her acting career with acclaimed roles in Orange is the New Black and Poker Face, but also stepped behind the camera, directing episodes and showcasing her multifaceted talent. Today, she is a beacon of hope, a living proof that even from the deepest despair, a life and a career can be rebuilt and even surpass their former glory. On a scale of 0 to 5, how impressive is Natasha Lyonne's comeback from addiction and personal struggles? Comment with a number. Jennifer Lean. Jennifer Lyne, best known for playing the Ocampa K's on Star Trek. Voyager experienced a sharp divide between her early success and a later period, marked by emotional distress and financial instability. After her departure from the show in its 4th season, a surprising decision as she was initially set to become Voyager's version of a long-lived Vulcan, Lyonne struggled with limited acting work, culminating in a series of personal and legal problems. Executive producer Jerry Taylor once remarked, "I think the reason people don't talk to you about it is they don't know what to say," highlighting the difficulty many had in understanding or addressing Lyonne's situation. It was rumored that Garrett Wang, who played Harry Kim on Voyager, had a huge crush on Lyonne, and even had a picture of her as his computer's screensaver, adding a layer of personal complexity to the set dynamics. As her career faded, Lyonne faced multiple arrests, including those related to domestic violence and driving infractions. Her legal troubles were interwoven with court-mandated mental health care, revealing deeper issues that apparently took root during her time on Voyager. It seems the demands of celebrity and the unexpected end to her character's narrative arc had a serious impact on her mental state. The public reacted in various ways, with some offering support while others responded critically. Lyonne's journey became a stark reminder of the fragility of mental well-being and the vital importance of strong support networks in the entertainment world. Seeking a quieter existence, she eventually settled in rural Tennessee, working to create a new life away from the spotlight. Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder, an actress whose star shone brightly in Hollywood, is still remembered today for her defining role as Lois Lane in the Superman films, and as the terrorized mom in the Amityville Horror. However, beyond the spotlight, Kidder's life was marked by hardship. Following a terrible car accident in 1990, she suffered partial paralysis and was unable to work. She faced devastating financial ruin, which further fueled her anguish. Even her romantic life at the time became turbulent. Just shortly after her accident, her third husband filed for divorce, after only being married to Kidder for only 6 days. Reflecting on her life, Kidder once admitted, "I was okay for long stretches of time, and then there were pieces of time where I definitely wasn't," revealing her struggles with both mental health issues and substance abuse. Medical bills surpassing $600,000 forced her into bankruptcy. In 1996, she experienced a highly publicized mental breakdown, which was followed by homelessness. She ended up living on the streets, virtually unrecognizable, battling inner demons that had haunted her since childhood. Kidder's mental health condition was eventually diagnosed as bipolar disorder, which at first she refused to accept. While she would look back at her life as grand and wonderful, she would always acknowledge the odd blips and bursts of madness that would punctuate it. Despite working towards finding stability in Montana after years of turmoil, tragedy struck when she died from an overdose in 2018, a death ruled as suicide. Mindy McCready. Mindy McCready blazed onto the country music scene in the 1990s, her career ignited by hits such as "Guys Do It All the Time." Yet, beneath the shimmering surface of success lay a tumultuous personal life, ravaged by addiction and emotional instability. In 1994, when she was only 18 years old, McCready signed with B&A Records. Her debut album, 10,000 Angels, was released in 1996, and it was certified 2X Platinum by the RIAA. However, her professional achievements were soon overshadowed by an escalating series of personal crises. McCready battled substance abuse, resulting in multiple arrests and a heart-wrenching custody dispute that culminated in the loss of her children. Her fight for sobriety was publicly documented during her appearance on Celebrity Rehab, but she remained trapped in the vicious cycle of addiction. The suicide of her partner, David Wilson, in January 2013 plunged her into profound grief. "He was my soulmate," she once said, revealing the depth of her devastation. Just over a month later, on February 17, 2013, McCready took her own life on the very porch where Wilson had died, a tragic testament to her despair. She was only 37, and her untimely death underscored the urgent need for compassion and awareness surrounding mental health and addiction. As Dr. Drew Pinsky pointed out, mental health issues can be life-threatening and need to be treated with the same intensity as any other dangerous medical condition. Lonnie Willison. Lonnie Willison, a dazzling fitness model gracing magazine covers and shining in the TV series Expose, experienced a shocking life reversal after her turbulent 2014 divorce from actor Jeremy Jackson. Their marriage was marred by domestic abuse, with Lonnie describing being strangled and beaten, and the deep emotional wounds she suffered. It took me over 2 months to recover properly. Interestingly, before her marriage to Jackson, Willison had a successful career, even doing commercial work alongside stars like Tom Cruise, showing the height from which she fell. By 2016, the weight of mental health struggles and addiction led to Lonnie losing her home and vehicle, rendering her unable to maintain stability. "I lost 2 jobs. It's been 2 years. I've been on the streets since," she revealed, painting a grim picture of her circumstances. The once radiant personality, familiar to audiences, dwindled, with Lonnie often cited searching for sustenance in Los Angeles, her meager belongings piled in a shopping cart. Her transformation serves as a somber reminder of how quickly fame can fade and the devastating consequences of addiction. Despite attempts by friends to intervene, Lonnie consistently rejected their help, enveloped in hopelessness. "Nobody really cares about me," she stated, expressing the profound isolation that can accompany such devastating losses. Bobby Driscoll. Bobby Driscoll, once a shining star of Disney's golden era, enchanting audiences in Song of the South and voicing Peter Pan, experienced a heartbreaking fall from grace after a meteoric rise to fame. His talent shone brightly early on. At the age of 12, he not only received a Juvenile Academy Award, but was also immortalized with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. However, the transition to adolescence proved brutal. A sudden bout of severe acne changed his appearance, causing casting directors to turn away the once adorable child star. It got so bad that some on set cruel nickname of him was Acne Driscoll. He lamented, "I was dropped like garbage when I was no longer a cute little kid." A poignant reflection on the disposable nature of childhood stardom. As acting opportunities vanished, Driscoll sought solace in drugs, becoming ensnared by heroin addiction and engaging in petty crimes. His life spiraled downwards with repeated arrests, one for assaulting an unhinged man harassing his father with a shotgun, and a later incident involving a car theft where he burned it. Despite a stint in rehab, his attempts to resurrect his acting career were met with resounding silence. Desperate for a fresh start, he relocated to New York, immersing himself in the city's underground art scene, yet remained largely anonymous. Tragically, at the young age of 31, Driscoll's life came to a desolate end. His lifeless body was discovered in an abandoned Greenwich Village tenement building by children playing nearby. The cause of death was determined to be heart failure, a consequence of the hardened arteries brought on by years of drug use. A stark epitaph for a life ravaged by lost fame and personal demons. The journeys of these stars, marked by both dazzling heights and devastating lows, serve as a powerful reminder that fame is fleeting, but the human spirit endures. Their experiences underscore the critical need for robust support systems and a greater awareness of mental health, particularly within the demanding world of entertainment. Have you ever felt the sting of public criticism or the weight of expectations? Imagine building an empire only to see it crumble around you. These stories are a call for empathy, urging us to approach those facing adversity with kindness and understanding. Did a particular star's struggle resonate with you on a personal level? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments. Your voice matters. If these narratives have touched you, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Timeless Rewind, and enable notifications to stay connected with more thought-provoking stories that challenge perspectives and ignite meaningful conversations. Let's continue to explore the complexities of the human experience together.